Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TheLoveHour podcast. I am your host, Melissa Fredericks, MrsKevOnStage, and I'm joined by my husband and co-host,
Kevin Fredericks. KevOnStage.
That's great. On stage, yeah. And today, first of all, if this is your first time here, welcome to the TheLoveHour podcast, where we talk about life, love, the pursuit of happiness, and quite honestly, everything in between. We are not marriage experts by any stretch of the imagination, but we're just here to really share our experience in life, love, and marriage.
And we ain't goals.
Correct.
We just trying to stay married in the last and evil days. Amen. Don't be putting us on a pedestal.
Correct.
Put us on the ground with y'all. We all just trying to make it through.
Correct. And today we have a very special guest.
Rockford, Illinois' finest.
Yes. None other. Now, Michelle, I just learned your real first name, so I'm finna say it. Okay. All right. Miss Tanitra Michelle Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all loud in this mic. Girl, I'm sorry, y'all, for busting your ears. She has just written and come out with a new book called Checking In. Look at me. Come on and be an influencer now.
It comes out next week, on it?
Oh, it comes out next week?
May 25th.
May 25th.
Perfect. So if you are, that's right,
Tuesday,
May 25th.
right?
Yeah.
That's Tuesday.
So if you are in my book club, this will be the book of the month. So get to it today.
Go and purchase it even right now. Amen.
Yes. So
I hear the unction of the Holy Ghost saying that there's a blessing in there. I'm being serious, not the unction of the Holy Ghost. I was playing with that, but I'm being serious. Michelle, I know we're going to talk about this, but it is so important, especially for Black people. But I want to say Black and churchy. We had the double whammy.
Yes. Because
Black people didn't talk about mental health, and churchy was like, well, Jesus, what? Okay, I know him.
Right.
Okay. But also, is there anybody else we could talk to?
Yes.
So I feel like Black and churchy, I felt like we had a mental health double whammy of it was doubly taboo. But it is so important for us as Black people to deal with our mental health. The same way you would go to a doctor for a broken leg, you go to a mental health professional to help you.
Correct.
There is no shame. There is therefore no condemnation in that. Amen. So I don't want to talk for you and stuff, but I'm so happy because you're a voice that people listen to, and you've been so open and transparent, which is also hard because people try to use it against you. But go ahead, Michelle. I was talking.
Listen, you said one thing about how we'll go to the doctor when a leg is broken, but I also want to tell people you don't have to go to therapy if you're broken. Right. You can go to therapy to process a transition. You lost a parent, you lost a job, you lost a relationship, which, I mean, those things can leave you heartbroken, but therapy just isn't for if PTSD or something traumatic happened, but also I want to pivot to one of the first things you said about Black people and churchy people. We don't talk about things as it relates to mental health. We'll go to the doctor for lupus or diabetes but it's like we've made people feel bad if they're going through something with depression or something going on with the mind, that it's because of something they did, sin. Well, if you go into the doctor for diabetes, you ate too much pound cake.
That was the sin of gluttony.
So if you want to blame me, I can blame you for your sugar being too high. Now, biologically, sometimes your sugar is high even because you didn't eat pound cake. But there are those of us, how many testimonies have we heard? Girl, I just changed my diet and I don't have to take the diabetes medication no more. It took you to eat right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we shame people for needing to go to therapy, but then I should be shaming you for going to the doctor for something that could just be regulated through diet.
I love that you said you don't have to be broken.
Introduce her to them.
We didn't introduce her as Rockford, Illinois' finest?
Oh, we just went right into it.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? I thought we said Rockford, Illinois' finest.
You did. And then we stopped. That's it.
You said what? Tanitra Michelle Williams.
All right, here we go. We can go with it. I was going to do a whole elaborate situation, but everybody said, "No, do the sit down chair."
That's my bad. That's my bad.
I went right into it.
No, child, we here. Let's
Me
go.
and Michelle been in green room so much.
I know,
feel
y'all
like
don't know.
We just chopping it up.
Like
I love the familiarity. No, go ahead.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Michelle Williams, because somebody might not know you.
I'm glad you said Tanitra right on the first go round.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm excited because I feel like it is a rebirth. I do feel like Tanitra Michelle is reborn, you know, in this season of my life. So I'm excited.
You have the Rebirth album, Rebirth of Tanitra.
With Kurt Franklin.
Let me hear you make some Holy Ghost crazy noise right now. Let me hear you.
Well, listen, really quickly, I just want to say this. If you're unfamiliar with Miss Michelle Williams, I'm not quite sure how she is part of one of the biggest girl groups of all time, Destiny's Child.
You were in that?
You listen, weren't you?
I was actually. Yeah.
One in the same?
One in the same.
I thought you looked familiar.
She has the killer voice on Cater to You. You can at me about that. She has a beautiful singing voice. One of my favorite pictures of all time actually is when we went to the Stellar Awards and you were so lovely to take a picture with me and my sister-in-law. Every year we repost it on Facebook. And so that is none other than Miss Michelle Williams. Thank you so much for joining us on today. Because if you don't know nothing about Miss Michelle, child, she is churchy.
Hey. We was talking about midnight musicals before we went.
Shut up.
I know. I'm like, I want to do a midnight musical or y'all got to do a midnight musical and I was in the choir.
That is a fantastic idea.
Whatever choir.
Instagram Live.
Oh my God.
In the choir, singing Sold Out.
Oh my.
Jesus is my help.
Jesus is my help. My help. I would love that.
Yes.
That would be good to my soul.
Let me take y'all back to this one. I bet y'all don't know this one.
I bet you I do.
Come thou Almighty King.
I was thinking,
wait.
I dare to sing.
Oh, I do know this.
Of course you did. Come thou Almighty King. Come on, Miss. Miss on. I dare to sing. We come to praise, we come to praise thy name.
Come on. And then when they go into that van,
that's why we was musty after.
Okay.
Right now.
That midnight musical church was hot.
Yes.
That was Church Kids Club. That's late. That's the only way we got to go stay out late.
Yes.
The only way we got to stay out
all
late.
your friends.
Yeah, y'all better do it. My mom never was tripping. You better be at the musical.
And be at school the next day exhausted.
Yeah.
And I want us to have the choir robes. So when we
clap, yes. Yeah, this is a whole production. First of all, are choir robes even a thing in 2021? I miss old school church. I miss old school church. I do too.
I miss choir.
Everything now is the praise and worship style songs.
Ripped jeans.
Yes. No, we need to go back.
We need to go back. We got to get in decency and in order. We got to be uniform.
Come on, jean skirt Twitter. Show up on today. Strong.
Jean skirt Twitter.
Where y'all at?
Jean skirts. Because that was as edgy as we could get.
Showed up.
A jean skirt. Okay.
And them Steve Madden slides are coming back. They're on their website right now today. No, they're on their website right now today.
We did jean skirts and jelly shoes.
Yes.
Boy, y'all.
Okay. I'm excited.
Down the hill, blazers.
I'm gonna set it up, Michelle. I'm gonna have you.
I'm gonna have you work in the choir. I'm in the soprano section. I want to direct one of the songs. Go to direct. Okay. All right.
I was in choir, but I'm better in the audience.
No, you gonna be. Are you soprano or alto?
I like to think of myself as a tenor.
Let's just sing with the tenor.
Why was I gonna say your husband is gonna say tenor?
Listen, you can sing with the tenor. She wasn't ashamed of it.
No, I like to sing with the tenor. I don't like to work too hard. Choir rehearsal be long. You be tired.
The real directors want to push you to your full self.
I just put me in the tenor, so I can hold it. They get one note every other.
And then we get all the men say y'all one word. Yeah. Hey, come on, men. Rain. Hey, we can do stuff.
I'm here for it, child. I am here for it. All right, let's get to it. Let's ready?
Get to it. Checking in with Michelle.
All right, checking in with Miss Michelle Williams. This is the book. All right, so let's ask the first question. why did you write? We kind of talked about it already. Why did you write this book?
Whoa. I wrote it because I felt like, in the time that I've been speaking about mental health, I'll get DMs or comments and people will say, I can relate to what you've been talking about or what you've been going through. And I figure, okay, well, let me do it on a more wide scale to help someone else identify. Because for me, I can trace it back all the way to the 7th grade, but I didn't get a proper diagnosis until I was in my 30s. So if it's to help somebody not go 20 years with, because, and then what happens in those 20 years, you learn how to cope in a negative way with whatever it is you're going through. So if I can help eliminate how someone copes with depression, if they don't know what it is, and then it can help them with the proper foundation for relationships and their career later on down the road.
One of the things that you talk about with this, and it's the title of the book as well, is the idea of checking in. And you kind of make the analogy of like checking into a hotel. Speaking of which, once you guys read the book, she makes this, she talks about this lovely hotel off in the islands with this brownie. And when I tell you, I wrote a mental note, do not forget to ask her where this hotel is, because that's where I want to spend my birthday. And then when you said it wasn't real, I was like,
But there are, when you say that, I think of a hotel, you talk about somewhere for your birthday, there's a spot in Turks and Caicos that I love,
You in the vein. Because is that not what we just said we want to go?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Grace Bay in Turks and Caicos. I love
Grace Bay.
I love that
I will
island,
not forget.
Yeah.
Grace Bay.
Yeah, but you're so right about checking in. We check in everywhere. We even have, there's the app Yelp. You can check in where your favorite restaurant is. Check in to get on the airplane. There are so many areas that we're checking in at, but we're not checking in with ourselves, the 3 pillars. We're not checking in with others. And we say we check in with God. We give him a little patty cake, baker's man type prayer. And we go on about our day instead of, are we really spending time 10 to 30 minutes? Just, okay, what's going on with me? Okay, what's going on with others? What's going on here? What we doing? Yeah.
I thought you had something to say.
That's just,
okay, go ahead.
It's so simple yet impactful.
Right.
To just that, like how we are so often checking in, especially me traveling. I know I'm traveling a lot when I'm getting a boarding pass check-in for another city while I'm boarding this plane. Like, man, I'm moving a lot. And I tend to think that, and I don't know if you guys agree, curious, I feel like social media has made us feel like the world is moving faster than it used to. I feel like before when I didn't have my phone in my pocket at all time and access to information, and sometimes somebody said this on Twitter, I think it might have been Kashmir or Candace, I'm not sure. They were like, man, I don't think people are supposed to have access to this much information at once.
Yeah.
Because you hear about the tragedies from across the world, all the bad news used to be locally centered. Now you're hearing about everything and every Black death from anywhere. And those images play in your mind. And sometimes I feel like I don't stop a lot. Like I'll stop when we go on vacation.
Yeah.
I very rarely stop on a day-to-day basis and like meditate or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stopping. I definitely don't check in with myself. I guess when I'm going to therapy, I do.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, I usually am holding the stuff that I would check in until my next therapy appointment. I'm not like,
well, that means we're checking more with others and things of the world more so than we are with ourselves and God.
Well, that's good.
You've got information overload and it's making you feel overwhelmed, making you feel like I've got to do this today. I've got to accomplish this now. And it's like, no, what if you just say, okay, I'm gonna post this. I'm not gonna look at the comments and I'm gonna just go on the rest of my day and not be on social media or be on the news. Although some people's jobs are cycled around social media. So I don't know if there's a scheduler that's automated that helps a person post so that they don't have to constantly be on their phone. And they're also, if you look at things of our spine and neck, there's a whole new different posture now that they're discovering of the neck being bent because we're always looking down at our phones.
Maybe that's why my neck been hurting.
Listen,
so much.
You said that, and Rebecca said, "Let me just
see."
It's so
I didn't realize I am doing that.
It's probably called iPhone neck or something. I don't know. Android neck.
Smartphone neck.
That sounds like that's why you over here with that iPhone neck. You were on that phone too much. You got that Android neck.
That's exactly what your mama would say. That is
now. Does Android neck have a different posture than iPhone neck?
Yes, you're better off if you have an iPhone. So
you're not. You're just as good off because half of the app users are Android. You guys are loved.
Be respectful.
We are welcome, and I love you.
Amen.
Let's take a break here. Hear from our sponsors.
We've taken a break from this episode to hear from one of our LoveHour podcast sponsors. You guys know them because why? They are friends of the podcast, and I have not stopped talking about them, and that is none other than ThirdLove. In fact, just today, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw Lauren from Love is Blind rocking ThirdLove, and you guys should go on her website, especially if you're melanated, because I'm always talking about how brown girl friendly all of their items are and their color scheme in terms of nude and flesh tone that they have. And she's rocking it. And I was like, okay, Lauren, I see you, girl. They have amazing products. They are comfortable. Of course, they understand that your bra should be comfortable and properly fitted, because there's like 66% of us women out here walking around with bras that aren't properly fitted. So they have a really quick and easy a Fit Finder quiz that you can take to find your perfect fitting bra. Don't forget that they also have their signature half sizes. They also have premium cotton fabrics available in sizes extra small all the way up to 3X. They're introducing loungewear for those lazy Sundays. And who am I kidding? You don't need loungewear for Sundays or on the weekends. At this point, loungewear has become a way of life. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even on Sunday. Find your favorite everyday essentials, from loungewear to their #1 rated 24/7 classic t-shirt bra. You guys know their t-shirt bra is my absolute favorite. That's the one that I rock the most. So what you're going to do is treat yourself with something that fits. It was made just for you with ThirdLove. Go to thirdlove.com/lovehour right now to get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/lovehour for 20% off your first purchase. Go there today. I won't steer you wrong. In fact, you'll come back and you'll say, thank you, girl.
All right. And we're back. And we're back. That is hilarious. A lot more Android users than iPhone users?
Not more, but it's
a good portion.
Close.
Well, be respectful.
That's why I stopped doing that. I was like, shoot, it's like 55-45.
Whoa.
55-45. Android is 45. I'd be like, shut up, Kevin. Y'all is great. I love green.
Low key, I'll be trying to get out the iPhone loop. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm so mad at these green messages I be getting. It's like it's messing up my aesthetic.
Aesthetic. Yes, it's always about the aesthetic.
Melissa's sister, we got a group chat of our friends and family from back in Washington, probably about 15, 18 people.
Yeah.
She is the singular person with an Android, and she relishes it.
She does.
It's like, look at your chat all green. Look at your little likes. It says like message instead of just turning blue.
Stand it.
I'll never get an iPhone. I love to annoy you. And then we were like, well, we have group chats without you, right? She was like, what? Yeah, we have other ones without you because we don't want to deal with this. She was like,
I don't want to deal with it.
Oh my God. Someone said that it's actually called Tech Neck.
Oh.
Wow. See, Michelle, you already knew.
I didn't realize.
I knew. But that's called too much information. Why do we know about TechNet?
So true. So true.
You know what I'm saying? But some of that stuff, it is good to know, but it's going on to say sometimes we can get way too much information that can overwhelm you. But at the same time, it's good that we are able to be aware of things that are going on in the world without having to wait for the local news to tell us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's double fold. It's like, it's good to have the information, but then it's like, okay, we have to discern how much information is good to take in.
I think that's the key. I think we've always had access to information. We haven't had access as simple. I think we are smarter than previous generations for access. We have, I don't want to say smarter. We have access to more information that we can find out true. But then the down part of that is we have access to other stuff that makes it harder to live our life, and access to everybody else's life, and everybody else seems so happy and stuff like that. And listen, I think we all know, like, social media is a highly curated highlight reel of people's best lives.
Right.
But the human in you be like, your life is perfect. Your marriage is perfect. Your children are well behaved. People don't tend to put their house, make videos when their house is dirty often. Some people would be like, girl, y'all didn't look in the background.
Not to, though.
Y'all didn't look at the background? At laundry be like, yo, what up? We in the back.
And you know, and it's like, if a person's brand started out that way, that's okay, where it's like, let me keep it real. Let me let you know my closet. And then, but let me show you the after where I got somebody to help with my closet. Right. Could you imagine if we go and do that? It's like, ooh, they done fell off. They house dirty. And it's like, no, it's just sometimes disorganized all the time.
Listen, some nights we had Postmates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Mind yours.
Correct.
There's a lot of stuff going on today.
Okay. I mean, my home right now is cardboard boxes everywhere of books to sign, labels. It's so much going on that, but you know, maybe I should post a picture and say, this is what it really looks like the week of book release.
I do love that.
I saw a TikTok the other day. Mom had posted, like, this is what it's really like to have a toddler. Mm-hmm. I'm an influencer, but look, and she was like, here's my child's breakfast: peanut butter and Doritos, 3 bags open, none of the chips eaten off the way. It was like, when our kids were so small, it was impossible to keep the house clean. Not while they're awake. Yeah. They're like, man, you did a great job. Pea, juice. Fruit snacks. Yes. You know, it was we off track.
Yeah. And I think, you know, maybe so we got Midnight Musical, and then maybe get everybody together that y'all put on a list and say, post the real thing. Not saying that what you don't post ain't real, but like, okay, Michelle, really post
what you wouldn't post.
Your bed that's not made up. The only reason why my bed ain't made up right now because we just put the comforter in the washer machine.
I've been wanting to make my bed every day. I do not.
I don't even.
Y'all wash your sheets.
I do wash the sheets though.
And comforters.
Yes.
Holy Ghost is my comforter. It's always washed and warm. Yarabo sheet.
Now put that thing in the washer machine.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, maybe there's a day for everything. National Water Day, National Candle Wick Day. Let me
tell you what, Michelle, I'm gonna be honest.
So true though.
Wednesday is the day where my house is historically the most likely to not be done. Because Saturday, you're going to get up and clean and wash. You're going to start the week off fresh. Yep. Friday, a lot of people might be coming over. I got to tidy up. Yep. Wednesday, ain't nobody pulling up.
Yep.
Wednesday, that laundry be like, whoo, you just going to see what I can do as far as the hamper goes. You're going to see what I'm really, you're going to see what Target is about that life.
That's right.
You ain't living until your hamper, your clothes is on top. Of the hamper, and you just like, you got to stack it just so
trying to get to the weekend.
So I got to stack it just so. Then you was like,
listen, we like, yo, we got to check in with this hamper. The devil.
It's funny that we're talking about this. Like, I started therapy last year, right? Mm-hmm. Last fall.
Nice.
It was and low key. I started therapy for one reason, Michelle Williams, to understand how my relationship with my real dad, who was not a part of my life, affected me. Whoa. When I tell you, I went in there and uncovered everything. That was one thing, right? The first session, she uncovered this, and then this, and how that connect to this. And then another thing that started happening is, even outside of therapy, I was able to connect dots a little bit better than I had before. Like, I realize now, I think a lot of us are like this. I was just coping and surviving. I was not dealing with any of this stuff. I had mastered compressing. Right now, I'm not saying this is healthy. It's in fact unhealthy, because by not coping and just surviving, it shows itself in different ways. And now you're not aware that symptom is from this unresolved issue. And the way you do that is from that unresolved issue. The way you snap at your wife is because of this, or the way you talk to children is because of that.
Yep.
And the craziest thing about it, all of my stuff wasn't even tied to trauma.
Right.
Some of it was tied to little things. Like, I'll give you an example. And I've said this before, but I ain't said it to you. When I got my first apartment, I had to get an apartment because my dad was in the military. He got stationed in Spain, and it's considered a hardship duty station, which means your family can't come there.
Right.
So the military pays basically for your family to stay somewhere else while you're in like Spain or Korea, somewhere where there's no military, there's no place for family. So my family went back to El Paso. I was in college. Melissa and I were dating, very serious, and I was not going back to El Paso. Just not going to happen. So my first rent, first time due, it was $585, and I was like, man, y'all really want this every time. It was the first was on Saturday, on Friday, or Saturday, something, but I didn't pay it because I was like, oh, the first is on a weekend, I don't got to give it to them until Monday. Hopefully by then I have it. I came back to an eviction notice the first month. Called my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, I'm 200 short. I was 200 short. And he was like, I'm going to give you this 200, but I'm leaving to Spain. This is the last time I'm going to help you. This is the last time I'm going to be able to help you. And the world only cares about you as much as you pay your bills on time. Right? From that moment, Michelle, I've never asked anybody to borrow money in my life. But what I internalized was not that I internalized the world does not care about you. You must do everything on your own.
Yeah.
Right. And that wasn't a traumatic experience. I didn't even, I remember that moment, but I didn't tie, like, he wasn't being mean. We weren't even beefing. He was just like, I can't help you. I ain't got it. And I'm going to be in Spain. Like, I really can't help you. You're going to have to figure it out. And it was more on some like, you're a man now at 19. Right. So, but that became.
Did the therapist then say, so how does it make you feel?
Yes.
Knowing that the world does not care about you?
Okay, so don't do that.
I was gonna say, Michelle, what's your therapist's name? Shelly?
Annie. Well,
Annie.
Yeah.
First of all, there was some twinkling in the back of my eyes because I was big crying in there because I realized I built the KevOnStage brand alone on that same premise. Nobody's gonna help you edit. There's nobody to pay. So I figured out how to do that, figured out how to shoot, figured out how to do this and that. And that success was born out of that. There's nobody for you. Right. And there's nobody going to be for you. Right. So you better get it out the mud on your own. But now that's not serving me anymore. So now what was very helpful to build the KevOnStage brand is harmful to build the KevOnStage Studios brand and harmful to Kevin and Melissa Fredericks, because that I can even be nobody. I don't need anybody, period. Mm-hmm. And that's what my dad wasn't even saying that. Right. He was just like, if you ask for $200 next month, I won't have it. Yeah. Like, that's all he was saying. But I internalized something much more. And that's when I was like, oh, you probably don't even need to not have a relationship with your real dad to go into therapy. There's a lot of stuff that we all probably have that's just, we're not connecting to. That's why we're acting this way and that way. And that's why I feel like checking in is so important.
Wow.
You Melissa, have your own, go ahead.
I know I'm not supposed to be interviewing you, but I'm excited to first hear a Black man talk about therapy. And what did that do for you? Melissa?
Me or Liz?
Your wife.
What
did it do for you? Were you like, oh, thank God, child, I've been wanting him to go to therapy? Or were you like, I got to go to therapy too?
Yeah, I mean, I did eventually go to therapy. What's funny is that I didn't realize it now, but if I were to call it something retro, like looking back on it retrospectively, it was my own version of therapy, not realizing that it was therapy, and that I've always done and read a lot of books about like self-reflection and being very introspective. I was never one to be like, you need to go to therapy or you need to read these books, but I always wanted Kevin to go along with that journey with me. And so when he did it, it was like, yes, finally, he's doing it for himself. And I didn't, you don't want to guilt trip him into it, because that's
a master class in itself. Was that, if I'm not mistaken, some of the Bible talks about the wife being the example.
Mm.
And eventually the husband will follow, especially if you feel like, okay, my husband ain't saved. Do I force him to go to church? Do I Bible thump him every night? And it's like, no, you just keep living your life as a godly woman. They'll see it. They'll see the fruit of what that kind of life is. They'll eventually want it one day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call these moments in our own lives, what are they called in the movie? The inciting incident. That's what they're called.
Okay.
In movies, they have the world that they set up, they have an inciting incident, and that's usually when the plot of the movie usually takes off. And so we all have these inciting incidents that kind of change and shape our worldview. Does that make sense?
That's so
And
good.
so in the book, you describe your kind of inciting incident. Do you want to go there?
Yes. Well, which one? So I mean, even naming the book Checking In was definitely also to take the power back in that most humiliating moment of me having to check into a hospital in July of 2018.
Mhm.
I'm an open book. I eventually was going to tell the story, but to find out that and I don't want to say no shade to TMZ, but somehow they found out where I was.
Mhm.
And my manager calls me and says, hey, they know where you are. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, I'm not going to let them tell my story. So we had to put out a statement, and it's not something that I wanted to do at that time. But I was ashamed. I was humiliated. I felt like a hypocrite because it's like, ain't that girl that sing When Jesus Say Yes? Well, if she a Christian, I definitely don't want to be a Christian now because I don't want to be depressed. I was having all of these thoughts. I actually saw a comment like that one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? But from that time, okay, it's like, okay, well, just change the perspective. Are you checking in with yourself? Are you checking in with others? Are you checking in with God? And since then, those have been my 3 pillars. You know, the healing still had to take place because that same year of December 2018, I had another breakdown. It's like, because from July to December, instead of me healing, I started working. That's another coping thing that we do in this entertainment field or in the world of sports. You play hurt. The show's got to go on. You signed a contract. You folks paid their money to see you in this Broadway show, so you better be there for opening night. Do this. It was too much. You better film this reality show. You better do this, instead of being able to say, I should have been checking in with me and saying, if I do this, if I die, y'all gonna go on and you do the next thing.
Right. Shola is gonna check in with the next person.
They're gonna check in with the next person, right? So in 2019, 2019 was my entire year to check in with myself, do the healing work, do the counseling, do the therapy, work out, eat right, check in with others, check in with God. I think I worked 4 times in 2019. That was it.
Wow.
2020, but it prepared me for 2020 because, you know, we had to stay home anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So checking in was to just taking the sting out of what to me was a humiliating process. But when I look back, it takes great strength to say the 3 words, I need help. Kevin, it's like, I can't do it on my own. Right. I can't do it on my own. I've tried. And that was a result of words spoken to me from my dad. Things that he didn't mean, but it's like, well, I have no value. Nobody cares about me. So let me go try to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you feel like you have no value. No one cares about you, and it's like, I also talk about it in the book too, believing the lies.
Yes.
Thoughts and lies are always swarming in our heads, whether it's lies we're speaking to ourselves or whether it's a lie somebody spoke to us or over us, and you weigh that as more truth than what God says about you. The reason why you can know something is of the devil is because he is 3 things: steal, kill, destroy. God is, I want you to have life and more abundantly, right? So that's how I'm trying to weigh, okay, certain thoughts. Okay, that's a lie. Going about to say lie. That's a lie. So I tried to sum it up quickly in a nutshell about those 3 pillars of checking in.
I love it. Let's take a break really quickly right here to hear from the Love Hour sponsors.
All right, we're taking a break from this episode with Miss Michelle Williams that I am sure you are greatly enjoying, but I want to tell you about GoHenry. GoHenry, first of all, it's the cutest little situation. Okay, it is basically like a child-friendly first bank account. What you basically do, there's an app that you can load money up. You can get your kids. I wish I had them, but the boys have their own little debit card. I got to personalize it. Joey has a dog. Isaiah has like a frog, has their name on it. It's really, really super cute. I have a teenager who thinks he can go and hang out with friends and do whatever he wants. And so I'm constantly like, do you have cash? Do you have money for food? Can you pay for this? Can you pay for this? And it just makes it really, really easy to ensure that he has money no matter where he is. I can load the money on the app and I know that he'll be taken care of even in my absence. It makes teaching about financial education, building financial literacy easy for both parents and kids. If you want your kids to have an allowance and you want to teach them how to budget, this is a great way to do it. It sets boundaries while also allowing them to have independence because you can set spending limits, choose where they can use their cards from, all of those things. It's customizable. All of the things that make it really, really cute and fun for kids, but also really great for parents. That's what this is. I absolutely love it. I think it's freaking fantastic. Get started at GoHenry.com and get 1 month free with promo code LoveHour. That's 1 month free at GoHenry.com and use promo code LoveHour. You can use the debit card at online stores, at ATMs, in stores. It's freaking fantastic. They have excellent reviews on the App Store, Google Play, and Trustpilot. You can make real-time money transfers, which is what I love because when my kids are out and about and we're separated, I can ensure that they're taken care of. It's freaking fantastic. Definitely try it. GoHenry.com. Use code LoveHour. All right, we're also going to tell you about HelloFresh. HelloFresh is the way to go if you are a mother, a father on the go, and you want to make sure that your kids or your family can eat without the guilt of constantly ordering out. It's the cheat code. That's what I'm trying to tell you. HelloFresh is the cheat code. It allows you to feed your family. You're going to feel really great about it, and it's quick and it's easy. They have pre-measured, fresh ingredients, mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered straight to your door. You get to skip the trip to the grocery store and you just open up a box and voila, dinner is served, honey. Usually their meals are about 30 minutes or less. I just made the Italian chicken and pepper. It's like a sandwich. It's freaking fantastic. You get potato wedges, there's onions in there, green peppers, mayonnaise, sour cream, garlic powder, chicken breast, Italian seasoning. Like, it tastes good, it's quick, it's easy, and I just really enjoy it. HelloFresh has been named Newsweek's most trusted meal kit company for 2021 with over 4 million household serves. 4 million people. Listen, 4 million people ain't lying now. 4 million people ain't lying. There is a reason, okay? Right now, get a better value. HelloFresh is 28% cheaper than shopping at the grocery store and 72% cheaper. Restaurant meal without sacrificing the quality or the taste. And most importantly, you get to save on time. Go to HelloFresh.com/LoveHour12 and use code LoveHour12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Go to HelloFresh.com/LoveHour12 and use code LoveHour12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping, and get America's #1 meal kit.
And we're back. One thing that you talk about, Michelle, and this, first of all, the idea of worth is something that is a constant theme in my life that I'm constantly overcoming. And you have this pivotal moment with your therapist, with this ex-coworker of yours, or I don't even think it was a coworker. I think he was your employee, is actually more accurate, that, went off and did something that you felt was betrayed. You felt betrayed.
Yes.
And your response to it is one thing, which I think we all have like these outward responses, which is generally anger. It's a very easy emotion to evoke. The harder work is finding out the real emotion behind the anger, like what's really going on. So you have this moment with your therapist where you're kind of dissecting this.
Yes.
Can you walk us through this? Because it leads to this quote that I love that I'll share afterward.
Yes. And so I was having this moment. By the way, anger and sadness are natural responses.
Absolutely.
But it's like, now how angry? Why did you get that angry? Why were you angry for so long? Yeah. Why did you actually want to do bodily harm to this person?
Right.
It's real.
Right.
See me on the fair one.
Right. Why do I want to kill this person? No, like literally, I'm about to go to jail.
Literally. That was how much I was fuming because I feel like I'm a fair person. I'm a good person. I'm a giving person. So why do you have to go and betray me and do what you did?
Right.
I started to feel like I'm such a connector, but then I feel like, but now when I do connecting, I don't do it saying I'm going to get something out of this. If somebody needs a resource, go on, because God is going to give the increase. So don't even worry about that. Yes. But I definitely felt like when you don't have to go around and betray, why did you do that?
Right.
You didn't have to do that.
Why did you do that?
You didn't have to do that. It didn't have to be all this.
It did not have to be all this. And it made me, then we kept peeling the onion back. And it was like, I felt like I didn't matter to you.
Bingo.
I felt like I was of no value for you to feel like you had me and this person, we've hashed it out. And they told me, the reason why they did what they did, because they felt like they weren't ahead in their career. So they wanted to do what they needed to do to get ahead.
Yeah.
So I get that. Okay, thanks. Got it. But I was like, you didn't have to do that to me. I'm the homie.
Right.
We had dreams of yachts, being on the south of France together. We gonna get this bread. It's taking time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so the anger came from I was angry that you went around me to do it. And then it's like, as they say in the UK, you took the piss.
I don't know what that means. I'm unfamiliar with this.
You took the piss. You peed on me.
Got it. I like it. I love a good new saying, child.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not a good feeling.
Absolutely.
That's not a good feeling, to feel like you're not of value. And so but I go back to, okay, what was the root of that feeling? Because that it's always certain feelings, they're just ugly roots that you have to get to the bottom of and uproot them, cut it down.
Are you saying, and this is me asking, not assuming, are you saying that feeling connected with a feeling you already had about yourself, and them feelings lined up, and it's like, I feel like that, and am I like that?
Right. Most of the time they don't come up out of nowhere. They don't come from nowhere. And most of it's
like calling you ugly. If you feel ugly, hurts more than if you be like, I know I ain't ugly, you lying.
What happens, I believe, is that situations are triggers for deep-seated things that you believe. And so they become confirmation to an insecurity you have existing.
Yeah.
That was good. You came out.
That is so good.
Not pre-roll.
I worked through it. I worked through it as I was saying it. And I know it to be true, because as you were describing this scenario in the book, I said, well, now wait a minute. Did I just catch a stray bullet? Because
I'm just reading. Why is she shooting at me?
When did she record this? I feel like she's talking to me today. I feel like, yes, all the shots. Okay. And I didn't have my bulletproof vest on. I came in unprepared. I feel like so many times we get angry at people or scenarios.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you talked about is, I got to go back and do some of my own self-work. And it's not to say this person didn't do you wrong, because,
right.
it
that
is
also could be true still.
And right. Two things can be true. where you betrayed me, but this triggered me in such a way, in such an elevated, escalated way, because of the insecurity that exists within myself.
Yeah.
And that belongs to us. That's something we can't pawn off on other people. That's our self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Yo, now, Mr. Kev on stage.
I was okay. I was being quiet.
Yo.
I thought he had forgotten about me.
He coming in hot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go to school for this?
I did not.
Listen, I firmly believe Melissa, if she decided, I don't want to be an influencer industry person anymore, I'm going to go get my LMFT. I feel like she could also change lives in that work as well. Just like
so good and powerful.
It's
good.
It's a desire on the. Melissa's also always a student of everything she's interested in. And I realize our sons are the same way as a result. Isaiah's like, I like movies, therefore I would know the box office, the director, these people, what they're other working on. Like I'd be like, boy.
He knows everything.
By the way, both of the boys want to be interns at KevOnStage Studios.
I think they should.
Y'all been being musty all summer long.
I think they absolutely
come up there in that office, learn how to edit.
There's no reason why
pull
they
it
should
down, get it, sequence these things up. I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Paid internships, even though you're my son.
This is nepotism. Absolutely.
What is minimum wage? You gonna get it?
$15, ain't it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Put in a little piggy bank. But that's actually another point I want to bring up. One thing that is really important as parents, as partners, your undone self-work becomes their pain.
You bleed on people. You
bleed.
Said you're working while wounded. And when you're wounded, you bleed.
You bleed and now your children have their own trauma to deal with. And they got your unresolved trauma, and they like, man, why am I feeling this way? This ain't even my stuff. You putting your fears on them, your angers, your frustration,
your insecurity,
and that's another reason why.
I am today years old, because when I said my depression started in the 7th grade, not only did I have my own trauma as a result of seeing what was going on in my household, but my parents' trauma that they didn't.
That became your first trauma, unearned.
Yes.
And you're not only unearned, you are unequipped to even deal with that. So you just just sitting on you. That's a burden of a 40-year-old person, 35-year-old person.
Wow.
And you were 10, 12 years old carrying because our parents were very unlikely to be able to do that self-work, especially with the trained professional.
They didn't have the resources.
No resources, no access, no nothing.
This is the perfect place to say, is there one?
Yes.
Come to the altar. Oh, come to the altar.
Yeah, man. It's like.
That's so good. I got to go. Bless me.
It's so true. Like I was talking to my real dad, and it was that my we be working through a lot. I've been crying a lot more than I usually do the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's like once you doggone peep the lid on therapy, them emotions be like, my God, we've been waiting. They start pouring out. Especially you try to lean into them and work through and understand and do that work. You be tired for real in real actual life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a flood. It's like a dam with the crack in it. And once a little bit of water is, that pressure, busts it. But I'm, it's crazy, right? Like, I'll give you an example of how I became who I am and how it was nobody's fault, but it became. I have parents who don't have enough to provide, right? I got to work. I got to give these kids food. Right. As a kid, you don't understand that. I'm playing football. They moved me from tight end to quarterback. I'm the quarterback. Yeah. I want you to come to my game. Can't. In order to pay for you to be on the football team, I got to work. Right. So now I'm excelling in sports, right? Excelling in basketball, things like that. You're at work. And then key things happen in my life. I remember coming home from a basketball game in El Paso. And my family Now, I'm already dealing with abandonment issues from my birth father already abandoned me. That's the big boom. That's the big rock issue, right? That's my family abandoning me. My father leaving, never even like, not even like being there and then leaving. Like, you're pregnant, I'm out of there. Yeah. Right. Then I have my family. I'm doing things. I'm good at stuff. I'm starting. I made the team. I'm whatever. I come home from a basketball game. My family is watching Jeopardy. And I'm like, what are y'all? Y'all not even working. I could at least work through. Y'all not even working. Y'all just at home. Right. Okay. Y'all don't care. That's abandonment in the home. That's abandonment that stayed. Ooh. I got to see you be at my house and you're not there. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Come on, unpack
now, let me tell you what happens, right? Life change, life circumstances change. Now I'm Kev on stage. It's not that you don't want, you can't come now. Now you have more resources, more money, whatever. Oh, now all of a sudden you're at every show. So what did it took you getting all the way there to get there, to get these people who cared about you to be there. So now I've taken the root issue of my father, and mind you, and here's the thing, when I'm a child, I never said, hey guys, it actually really hurts my feelings when I have a game and you're not at work. You're just like not there. And what's magnified is other kids' parents are driving to the away games. Right. All over Washington, all over Texas. We driving 4 hours. They are just there. Melissa came to games. Like, they're making it. So now that's magnified. So now I'm making enemies of people who love me without ever even saying this really bothers me. I don't think you guys even realize how much this hurts me. So that's why I don't blame my family, because they were working most of the time, and the times they weren't working, I never conveyed. I just expected, like, you have a kid who's playing sports, y'all come to the games. Yeah. Right. So now I'm not even saying, so now I overcorrect for my kids. Right. To the point where they'd be like, fam, you keep coming in my room.
Or be like, Dad, the game's not till tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're already at the stadium.
Right. Right.
My youngest son, bless his heart. This is a little funny aside, just to take some of the edge off. I embarrass him. He is really good at soccer, Michelle. Like, he moved up to the A team this weekend. Yeah. He balling with them like he belonged. He was like, when you cheer, especially you, y'all cheered and everybody know. I'm already the only black kid out there. They already know I'm your son. So this Saturday, he did something, and I just hit him with 4 claps. He like, nobody else is even clapping right now. Boy, my dad wasn't at my games. You gonna get these claps because I feel guilty, right? For being gone, right? So now I'm taking that guilt I felt as a kid, making sure my kids don't feel that. But sometimes it can be like they don't feel like that though, because in all of their life I've been present in all their games, all their practices, all their stuff. Wow. But now I'm overdoing stuff to the point where they're like, bro, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. Yeah. But if I don't deal with my abandonment issues, I realize this, and I'm gonna let everybody else talk. I have a big I got this energy. Yeah. I got this. I'm carrying heavy box. I got this. Struggling. Don't worry. I got this. It's all from the same thing. I got this. My youngest son was carrying trash. This boy is tiny. Okay. The bag is busting. Stuff is coming out of it. He's like, I got it. I don't need help. And I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. He's repeating what he sees me do. Right. My unhealthy, unworked trauma has become his first example.
Wow. So healthy or unhealthy, we emulated what we saw our parents do.
Emulate what you saw.
Are doing, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, they will see,
Absolutely.
What you do.
And now he's realizing, to the point where you can literally hurt yourself. Like trying to pick up something too. One time he almost hurt himself, like, bro, you could really hurt your back. I want to be like my dad. And this is not even a verbalized thing. Right. So I it's a lot. And that's another reason why I went. I was like, I can't bleed on Melissa. I can't bleed on the boys. I didn't have the term bleed, but I don't want y'all to take my stuff because I'm already, I got to deal with this. I don't want, you're going to have your own stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
Listen.
Let's take a break right here, really quick. Take the last break to hear from Love Hour sponsors, and then we will close this out.
All right, we're going to take a break from the episode with Michelle Williams really quickly because I know you're going to need it, okay? We over here pulling heartstrings. You're going to feel like you're going to need to find a therapist after this. We're going to talk about something a little lighter. It's called fashion, okay? We always want to talk about fashion, especially as the seasons are starting to change and we are entering summer. We're always looking for great transitional pieces that you can use year after year. So every summer, every spring, every fall, every winter, you're not looking to overhaul your wardrobe. So you want those classic pieces that will last you and carry you for years to come. Sometimes they're an investment, but listen, they're worth it because they're going to last you a while. And you all want, no matter where you are, you want to have the cool California, easy breezy, beautiful type vibes. And that's why Jenni Kayne is here to help you in your wardrobe. No matter where you are, you can capture the California cool vibe in your wardrobe by shopping the Jenni Kayne website. I personally received their cashmere fisherman sweater in the color oatmeal. It's really fantastic. It's very, very soft, a really great transitional piece, no matter where you are in the US, whether you're transitioning from summer into fall or spring into summer. It's one of those pieces that you can just put on really easily and it's just great and you'll have it for a very long time. They have everything from cozy sweaters to lightweight and luxe layers that you can put on. They have everything that pairs for weekend vibes to work days, layered, worn solo, date night vibes. You can dress it up, dress it down. It just makes getting easier in the morning really, really simple and easy because nobody wants to spend a whole bunch of time on what you're going to wear in the mornings. Don't nobody want to do that. But if you have staple pieces that will last you, it just makes it really, really easy. So find your forever piece at jennikayne.com and get 15% off your first order when you use code LOVE at checkout. That's Jenni Kayne, JenniKayne.com, promo code LOVE. One more time, JenniKayne.com, promo code LOVE. And now let's close out this episode.
Well, my mother told me last year, she was like, we were talking about some things and she was like, baby, I'm so sorry. We were just doing the best that we knew how. We just knew. I mean, now, they know, learning better, especially now. It's like they're so tender with the grandkids and it's like.
Oh.
What was this?
What was
this when I was younger?
My grandma Ruth, I asked her this specifically. I said, well, so you didn't have to whoop. You got a whole other parental arsenal of things. She said, Kevin, when y'all was living with me, this is my second set of kids I'm ready. I ain't have time to talk.
That's what it is.
I didn't have time. I had to get this to you quickly.
Quick.
I got to get it to you right now.
One of the things that you say, even in your book, is you talk about that at, in your 40s, you have to remember that you're carrying the trauma from when you were 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But that's the thing too. Let that be. Process the past, but don't let that still be in you. Don't let that still be an excuse of why you respond the way you do. Get treatment for your past. If you look up the definition of the word past, it talks about something. It's like basically something that no longer exists.
Yes. And that comes from the Greek translation, pastimonious.
No, it doesn't.
Meaning to have been.
Have been gone.
Listen. The definition of past is gone by in time and no longer existing.
And no longer existing.
That's it.
You know what's crazy about that? When we don't deal with our past, we carry something that's gone with us presently.
Into our present. And then we carry it into our future.
Wow.
For what?
Okay. That is good.
For what? Now, like I said, it's not that you like process the past and let it stay back there.
Yes.
But let's stop saying I'm like this because my mama was like this. I'm like this because my first husband cheated on me. That's the past. He going on and got 8 more kids. Go on. Go on with your life.
Yeah.
Saints of God.
Listen, I got tears right at the back.
I know.
They are literally like horses before they open the gate. It's I do find relief. It's freeing, at least knowing.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we were going around undiagnosed.
Absolutely.
But with symptoms. And at least when the doctor says, okay, this is what happened, now we can say, okay, here's how we treat that.
That's it.
You got to do this diet. You got to work with you. Here's the medicine for it. And after X amount of time, you'll be feeling better.
Yes.
That's right.
And I think that's why your book is so important and mental health is so important, because once you identify, right? Because that therapies, they can't do all the work.
Right.
Their first job is to help you identify.
Yes.
Then you work through, but then you got to do that self-work. And then you got to retrain your mind.
Right.
Because what happens, that old way of doing is your first reaction.
Right.
That's your knee-jerk reaction. You got to learn, okay, like this is silly, but it's serious. Read this book called The Big Leap. When my career started getting better, I always felt like my kids are gonna die, Melissa's gonna die, something's gonna happen. And that's an anxiety thing. So in the book, he was like, when you get that feeling, sit with that and say, how likely is this to happen? And what am I really feeling?
Yes.
Am I really feeling that, man, things are going well, therefore something has to go bad? Because you almost make that feeling real. Oh, kids, you can't go outside. Why? Because something could happen. But how likely is that to happen?
I could keep going on and
That's
on, but let me
what
tell you, there's something in the book where I spoke. I kept speaking. Yeah, we're not gonna make it down the aisle. 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 All right. Now, let's look up the word future.
Mm-hmm.
The period or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing.
Wow.
In the Bible, the Bible says, speaking those things that are not as though they were.
Wow.
So when you say we're not going to make it, you're speaking a thing that's not as though it isn't.
Absolutely.
As though it were. And then when it happens, you done became a prophet.
Power.
There is
death and life
in the power of the tongue.
The word past is the same thing. It was the moment following speaking or writing. A lot of our past is what we spoke or wrote. Your future is what you speak or write as well. My God.
First of all, the doors of the church
are
okay, listen, Miss Michelle.
We gotta really unpack, because not only do I want us to check in with everything with our mental health, but let's check in with what we speak and what we say to one another, what we say to ourselves. Okay, you might feel like, well, man, I did some bad things in the past. A friend also helped me unpack this. He said, you can reshape what you reap by what you sow. So from this point on, just reshape it.
That's
reshape
good.
it with what you
change. You can change the harvest.
You know what? This is
Miss Michelle got a rap now.
You got a rap? Okay,
yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
You know what? I've got a podcast, my own podcast, and I've got someone at 3:00. The incredible Tamika Mallory.
Oh, she has a book that just dropped.
Yeah, State of Emergency.
Yeah, State of Emergency.
What we can do, we talking later on.
Yes, we'll be talking later on.
Part 2.
Yes. All right, listen, everybody.
Y'all put a bookmark in your Bible right there.
Yes.
We're gonna pick this up at Bible study.
Yes.
I can't give it all to you on Sunday morning.
Yes. Okay, so listen, everyone. First of all, Michelle Williams, thank you. This has been amazing. We will see you most certainly later on today at 4:00 Pacific time, 7:00 Eastern time.
No, just 4 p.m. Pacific. Don't let them Eastern people figure it out.
Do the
for
math.
themselves.
They know white.
We
privilege.
in LA. Y'all, we always doing the math on y'all.
Please go check out her book, Checking In. That will be available by the time this episode drops. If you're in my book club, make sure that you pre-order it. This will be the book for the month of what comes after May? June. All right. Thank you, Chad. Thank you so much. All right.
Again tonight, part 2. Thank y'all for having me. We family for sure.
Yeah, this was great.
I'm gonna hit you up for that musical once we get it set up.
Okay, I want to participate.
I'm gonna do it in Atlanta because listen, all the blacks be right there. I got musicians.
Showed up.
I'm gonna do it at Mark Moore's thing. I'm gonna do it at Mark Moore's YLC.
You should. He would love it.
They shouts over there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Michelle. Have a good one. We'll see you later on today.
Okay. I'll see y'all soon.
All right. Everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us for today's Love Hour episode. Until the next one. Bye.